And you know, when I was thinking over this, I was kind of wondering where gaming is going to go and looking at gaming today. And I'm not really sure about the future of gaming. I think there's a lot of questions that are up in the air, and several people probably have questions about the future of gaming. One thing I would say is that with the future of gaming, hopefully not every game developer will look at something like the Wii and say, okay, we need to make a motion-based game, or these console manufacturers like Sony and Microsoft won't say we need to make this motion peripheral and that's the future of gaming, because I don't think that that is the future of gaming. I think it's cool that Sony's looking that way and that Microsoft's looking that way, but if that's the primary focus, then really I don't think that that's a good focus for the gaming community. I know it's done a lot of things in terms of getting people involved in games who weren't involved before. However, I don't think that it's good to focus on something that so many of your devoted fan base and members of your devoted fan base are saying they don't necessarily just want that. You want to look at evolving the stories more and making the gameplay more immersive, I would say. Not even about graphics necessarily, because what I see now in terms of graphics on games is good enough for me. But it's interesting to kind of think about it. But the other thing that I kind of worry about also is digital distribution. I hope that that doesn't become the norm, and we'll kind of see, I think, as Sony tests the waters a little bit with the PSP Go, and obviously we have Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network, where they're starting to distribute a lot of games. I like that you can get the smaller games from them, and they do offer even full downloadable games like Burnout Paradise, but I don't want that in and of itself. I don't want that to become what it is. I like to collect games probably as much as I like to play games, so collecting is part of the fun for me. That's the joy in it. And knowing that I have something that I'll be able to hold on to forever, I actually like that. When you purchase these games and download them, you don't own them. Even though you've bought them, you'll never truly own them. You just are basically renting them. He also has a follow-up question, and it's a little bit different. It's what is my favorite rock/punk band or hip-hop artist? I would say rock/punk, probably Sublime, and I don't know if you would categorize them as rock or punk. They're kind of a mixture of both, and then they have this like reggae vibe to them. What I like about Sublime so much is the fact that they have such this relaxed, chilled sound to them, but at the same time they can kind of have this amped up sound as well. They have some really unique qualities in their music. And in terms of hip hop, I would say some of the more classy artists. I like Jay-Z. I like Nas. I'm not as, I guess, I don't know. I'm not as big a fan of hip hop as everybody thinks. I don't like a lot of the more, the newer stuff, the more up-to-date stuff. I like a lot of old school hip hop because that's what I grew up on. Next question comes from SunnyBoy541, and that is, what do you think about all the music games right now? To be honest with you, I'm a little tired of the music genre games. There was, when it was first being done, it was really cool. When I first played Guitar Hero, I was like, okay, now I see what all the hype is about and what all the fuss is about. But as they continue to release, one Guitar Hero after another, and Activision got a hold of the rights for that, and they bought it, out Guitar Hero, I just really became tired of the franchise itself. And, you've got Rock Band now, which that was also a little bit fresh when it first started out, and I've heard Rock Band 2 is really good, but, and then Rock Band Beatles, after a while you just kind of get tired of seeing so many different companies trying to jump on board, this boat, I guess you would say. I guess it's only natural because of the fact that if they see something that they can try to make money off of, they're going to do it. But Activision, in my opinion, is one of the prime examples of what a gaming company should not do, and that's just try to make, just try to cash in on all their IPs. It just eventually it becomes something where people start to get tired of it, and then you just you burn your bridges. I mean, they did it with Tony Hawk, I think. And they kind of did it with Call of Duty a little bit by having it flip-flop every single year from Treyarch to Infinity Ward. And that's kind of what's happening with the music genre right now, for me at least. Next question comes from Ballanick 1982. And what do I think is the most overrated retro game for the NES and SNES? And to be honest with you, I'm not really prepared to answer this one right now. I had to think about it a little bit more because I haven't done enough research to give a straightforward answer, but I will come back with an answer later on that. Thanks for the question. You made me really scratch my head on that one. For those of you who haven't checked out Ballin' Nick's channel, it's Ballin' Nick 1982. Definitely check out his channel. He has some incredible pickups. WSGTTV asks, what is my most underrated game? This again is something that I'm not really sure about. So I'm going to have to take those two questions and come back with a future video, you know, sometime here soon. And I apologize to both of you, but I don't know what my most underrated game is right now off the top of my head. I'm going to think about it and then come back. Next question comes from Jace's Faces. You all should know him by now. Incredible YouTuber. Just the most unique channel on YouTube as far as in the gaming community that I think I've seen. His question is, how many hours a week do I work and how often does it get stressful? My work schedule consists of anywhere from 47 to 60 hours a week. You know, there's been times where I've worked like 45 and there's been times where I worked like 65, but on a consistent basis, I'd say it's close to 50 hours a week. What really stinks about it is that I'm salary, so anything over 40 hours is basically like working for free. But I'm required to work 47 hours a week. In terms of how often does my job get stressful, I would say a few times a week it definitely gets stressful. One of the things that I've really worked hard at doing is trying to separate the stress and you know, get rid of the stress of my life. But being in management, anytime you're in management, you know, you have all kinds of variables that come into play throughout the day. You know, whether it's a customer who's just irate for no reason, or, you know, one of the more you know, frustrating things is being the person who's doing the majority of the work, which comes with the job. You're getting paid the most, and I understand that. But, you know, being the person who's doing the majority of the work and looking over and seeing somebody who's standing around doing nothing when you know there's like 10 different things that could be done at that, you know, at that point, it kind of baffles me, the fact that there's so many people that don't like to be told what to do, but at the same time they don't take the initiative to do anything themselves. I have no problem with somebody who I really actually appreciate having employees who take the initiative to, you know, get up and do something and to, you know, find something that needs to be done. And to me, like, it's really kind of rewarding when you have an employee like that, because they come few and far between. But, you know, there's so many other employees who, if you, you know, even make reference to them not doing anything, they get all defensive. And, you know, I've had different things like people try to play the race card on me. I had a girl last week say that it seemed like I was being a little racist, which I said to her in response, I said, you know, it's kind of funny because my wife's black. So she was taken aback by that, because she didn't know what to say after that. But, you know, there's just so many different things, you know, like I said. But work can be stressful, and no matter what your job is, you know, you just have to find a way to figure out how to make it as least stressful as possible. But yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, it's just, there's so many things. Like I said, I could come up with stories, but I really probably should keep, you know, those stories to myself, because I don't know if my company would like me sharing those. The next question that he has is, what video game character would I most like to meet and have a cup of tea with? I don't know. I just, you know, I'll throw this one out there. Just because I think it would be funny to see him have a cup of tea, and that would be Kratos from God of War. I just think, like, you know, sitting down with Kratos and watching him have a cup of tea would be hilarious. And in addition to that, how many people would really mess with me if I had Kratos by my side, or if they knew that I was cool with Kratos? I mean, like seriously, the God of War. But anyways, those are the questions right now. I appreciate all of them. Like I said, I'm going to come back with an answer to Ball and Nick 1982, his question, and also WSG TTV. Thanks, guys, for all the questions. If you have any more, feel free to leave them. I don't know how many parts this took up, but thank you for anybody who watched all of them, and I will talk to you all soon.